12 to come down and become a part of this mission and this group, Bruce. How do you describe what he has meant to make this moment a reality?
This trophy, the belief he gave everybody on this organization that this could be done. It only took one man.
All right, Brian Westbrook is back with us now. Brian, how much credit do you think Tom Brady deserves for getting the Bucs to Super Bowl 55?
You know, Jenna, I think he deserves a lot of credit. And if you look at the Bucs record before this season, they only had one winning season in the last 9 years. So Tom Brady is the big-time part of that. His ability to make guys better around him and to hold them accountable is certainly part of it. I remember when T.O. came to our football team, we were already a good team, but his practice habits, his ability to make guys around him better, to hold them accountable to a higher standard was a big part of us being able to make it to the Super Bowl the next season. So I know that Tom Brady certainly is a big part of the Bucs' success, but I also got to give a lot of credit to Todd Bowles, a defensive coordinator. Even though they gave up a bunch of yards to Aaron Rodgers, they were able to overcome the 3 interceptions that Tom Brady threw. They were able to stop Aaron Rodgers in that offense 3 times inside of the 10 and not allow them to tie a football game. I also got to give some credit to Byron Leftwich. He was able to scheme guys wide open all game long. And when you think about it, I think he deserves some credit for that last play before the first half ended. He was able to throw the ball deep in a situation where a lot of coordinators would have said, hey, let's just find a way to get a first down and get some yards to be able to kick the field goal. He said, no, we're going to be aggressive and go for a deep pass. So, of course, Tom Brady deserves a lot of the credit, but I'd still give credit to Todd Bowles, the coordinator, as well as Byron Leftwich, the offensive coordinator, for some of the success that the Tampa Bay Bucs have had.
2007 was the last time they made the playoffs. That was my second year in the NFL. I was drafted to the Denver Broncos in 2006. So Tom Brady deserves all of the credit. And what Bruce Arians said was belief. He used the word belief, not getting it done. And that belief that you have to have Monday through Friday is where I think Tom Brady is most valuable. You know it, man. There's some guys that just walk in the locker room and you're like, with that guy, we can win. Ryan Fitzpatrick did that for us. I saw Ryan Fitzpatrick in the offseason unable to complete a 5-yard hitch route coming off of a leg injury. And then when he got in there, he started completing that 5-yard hitch route, and the way he communicated, the way he led up, the way he led down, made all of us believe it elevated Eric Decker's game. Eric Decker that they thought was done. Oh, he's a bust. Why did the New York Jets pay him so much money? Matt Forte, Bilal Powell. There's some guys, that you guys never even heard of that went out there and balled and had career years because of Ryan Fitzpatrick. So when you look at being in the ultimate sports game, football, and then having an ultimate leader, this is why they are having the success that they're having so early and so fast. Tom Brady gives you everything you need Monday through Friday. Sunday is now we're talking about the Todd Bowles, we're talking about the receivers, we're talking about that offensive line. But when that guy steps in a huddle, you're like, yo, I know he just threw 3 picks, but if I can get him the ball back with 2 minutes left, we have a chance, Wilds.
Okay, you know what I think is interesting? And Nick, I'll throw it to you. Tom Brady's superstar spotlight sort of blocks out the sun for everybody else. And it happened with the Patriots. When the Patriots won Super Bowls with the #1 defense, the Tom Brady narrative was so powerful, it's just Tom Brady's Super Bowls. So now this Bucs defense, which was top 5 last year and played even better this year, is still like, it's Tom Brady, it's the Tom Brady show. But look at the defense. They were the #1 rushing defense all last year. The problem is, Jameis was throwing the ball to the other team. They had 41 turnovers last year. They had 17 this year. I think Tom Brady only threw like 12 interceptions. So I understand Tom Brady did well, and I understand that he's old, and he's setting records. He's headed to his 10th Super Bowl, and he's hurting Patriots fans' feelings. But a part of me thinks that the narrative has run away too far from how good this Bucs defense is, Nick.
I agree with that, but I think it's a little more nuanced than that. I think that if we were to just put everyone on the Bucs, do a Madden rating for all of them. I think there's 10 players on the Bucs with a higher Madden rating than Tom Brady. I think there's 10 guys on the Bucs, a lot on defense, who are better at their jobs on the field on Sunday than Brady is at playing quarterback on Sundays. And I think you saw that this weekend when, as great as that pass to Scotty Miller was, Scotty Too Hotty Miller called it, by the way, on Friday, Brady was miserable in the second half and gave the Packers every chance to come back. But what the Madden rating wouldn't capture, and we can look to the NBA and the NFL. Who is winning titles? Yes, it is the best players, but it is the best players who pair with that an inherent leadership ability that rallies their guys. I don't know if in 2016 Steph Curry was better than Kevin Durant, but he without a question was a better leader than Kevin Durant. And that's why the Warriors were able to come back from 3-1 down on his Oklahoma City Thunder. In 2019, when Durant went down against Houston, Houston was better at that point than Golden State. Houston had the game in their building to force a Game 7. Steph had 0 points in the first half. But Steph had a better sense of the moment and kept the faith of his teammates far better than Harden did, getting his team to the finals. The finals I believe they would have won if they weren't then decimated by injury. LeBron throughout his career, Brady, and I'll go to Mahomes last year. Mahomes is the most talented guy, but Rodgers is amazingly talented as well. And if you look at the difference, Brian, between when things start going bad for the Chiefs and what Mahomes does on the sidelines, and when things start going bad for the Packers and what your MVP Aaron Rodgers does on the sidelines, there is an obvious, visible difference there. And I do think we're seeing that when it comes to winning these titles, there is a level of how good are you when you're playing and a level of how much do you instill faith and confidence in the other guys. And Brady, by being Tom Brady, seems to still do that. I mean, Brian, LeBron said yesterday he was inspired by Brady, plays in a different sport than him. So, I do think I have to be able to give Tom Brady credit for that because I do think it's real.
You know, Nick, I think you hit the nail right on the head. And I was listening to Tommy Harris, the old defensive tackle for the Chicago Bears. Yeah, and he mentioned in one of his speeches he said the Tom Brady effect. And that effect is actually simple. It's anytime he touches the ball, whatever team he's on, you feel like you're going to win. You feel like he's going to be able to pull the game out. Right. Whatever the odds are, whether you're down by 10, whether you're down by 18, if Tom Brady is on that field, you're going to be able to have that feeling that you're going to win that football game. That's the effect that Tom Brady has, and that's what he brings to the practice field as well as the game field every Sunday. That's why he's been so impressive over the last 21 years.
Listen, I had the ultimate team, a leader experience in Chicago. First part of my career, I wasn't the greatest teammate and I didn't understand leadership, but I had this big platform and this big responsibility. And when I was transitioning from Chicago to the New York Jets, I really leaned into leadership. I had my two younger sisters. One plays at Rutgers right around the corner now. Destiny Marshall, she plays the 2 guard right there at Rutgers. And I had my other sister who played basketball, Malaya Marshall. So we go into East Bank Club and I'm playing against an NBA agent and his team, grown men. These young ladies, my sisters, were in high school at the time, a freshman and a sophomore. And I said, you know what, I'm going to play point guard. And the only thing I'm going to do is communicate, get them in the right spots in defense, and then I'm also just going to encourage them to shoot. We ran everybody out the gym, and I walked away blown away just thinking about how my sister would miss a shot, and I'm like, keep shooting, keep shooting. She'll come back and hit another one. The communication on defense, and it told me that talent only takes you so far. Leadership is everything when it comes to business, and it definitely is everything when it comes to sports.
Right. I love that story. Brandon's like, I'm going to tell you a story about how awesome I am. I got a question for you. I mean that in the best way. What is your favorite carousel? Mine is the quarterback one, where we take all the available quarterbacks and all the available teams, and we go round and round and round until every spot is filled. It'll be your favorite game, too, and your favorite carousel when we come back. I meant that in the best way, Brandon.
Lot of credit to Todd Bowles, the defensive coordinator. Even though they gave up a bunch of yards to Aaron Rodgers, they were able to overcome the 3 interceptions that Tom Brady threw. They were able to stop Aaron Rodgers in that offense 3 times inside of the 10 and not allow them to tie a football game. I also got to give some credit to Byron Leftwich. He was able to scheme guys wide open all game.